Hello and welcome to the Fan Fiction Book Club podcast, a weekly podcast that explores the good, the bad, and the cringy of fan fiction, hosted by me, Ollie, and my lovely co-hosts, SG,
Heyo,
Poppy,
hi,
and Tstan.
Hello.
Every month, we scour the internet to bring you 4 different fanfic reads, and our theme this month is Phantom of the Opera. Check out our website at fanfictionbookclub.com or follow us on Twitter and Instagram at fanfictionados for the full lineup of stories for the month and to connect with us on the web. All right. So the fanfic we are discussing this week is Same Old Lange by nibblesfan on fanfiction.net. This was written in on December 24th of 2020, and there is 6,000 words, and it's rated K, and the tags were hurt, comfort, romance.
Wait, what is rated K? Is that rated kids?
Yeah, it's like K plus, like kid. It's rated G.
So kids can read it, anyone can read it.
Rated E for everyone. If I could high five you, I would. That was good.
Virtual high five. So the author's summary is very short. Met my old lover in the grocery store as snow was falling Christmas Eve. Modern AU based off the song by Dan Fogelberg, One Shot. So again, this story is a very quick read. And it's based off a song from the 80s. We'll definitely put the link in the description so you can all enjoy this. I don't even know how you would describe this song, like 80s kind of prom dancey ballad type of song. But the story closely follows the lyrics. So if any of you want to read the story, I would definitely recommend listening to the song first. I don't know if we want to go into the song now.
Yes.
We do.
I think the people need the backstory.
Yeah, like, I don't know. So this Same Old Lange is a song written in the 80s and performed by someone named Dan Fogelberg. And apparently he's very famous. I don't know if he's still famous to this day.
Apparently he's very famous.
He has so many views on YouTube when I searched him, and he has a lot of fan-made videos, and I was looking at the comments, and mostly they're from people in their 60s saying, I remember this song when I was a teenager, and essentially it's just about a man who met his ex-lover in a grocery store, and they talked. And yeah, like, I don't, do you guys have any comments on the song?
Not really on the song, on the video.
On the video.
Yeah, I have some comments on the video that you sent.
Yeah, so when I sent everybody this story, this fanfic, I made a preference of like, hey, this is based off this song, and I sent them the first video that I had searched when I looked up the song on YouTube. Do you have the comments, Poppy, about the video?
So this video has like 5.2 million views on YouTube. And it's like something that I would have made when I was 11 on Windows Movie Maker. It's just like still pictures. Like someone went into the stock footage of hetero white people hugging and like put that into Windows Movie Maker and just used a bunch of like transitions and like wipes and fade in and out and stuff. And then they also had like pictures of Klaus and Rebecca Michelson from The Vampire Diaries. And
okay.
And grocery bags.
I thought I recognized her face, but I couldn't
And like,
tell from
well,
where.
It was so
they had
random.
Klaus and Rebecca Michelson and their siblings, and this is a love song, so that's weird. And then they also, so I was like, okay, maybe they just don't know who these characters are, and they just like Googled like people looking at each other. But then they also had a picture of Damon and Elena, so I'm like, okay, so obviously they know what the Vampire Diaries is, and they know that these two people are siblings. So why would they put them in this love song?
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad that you knew who they were, because I watched the video and I went, I know these people. I've seen their
I was
faces
like, they look. I
somewhere.
recognize the cheerleader girl from Degrassi and that guy, but I didn't recognize the brother and sister.
Oh my god, it was so weird. And then there was also a stock image of like Cool Whip and like Pinnacle vodka and like strawberries, and I'm like, what is this recipe that they took this in? It was just so bizarre.
It's an oddly entertaining video slideshow, I guess, because it wasn't really.
It's a 2010 fever dream.
And
that's a good way
reiterate
of describing it.
that this video has 5.2 million views.
The people loved it. What was the like to dislike ratio? I didn't even check that out.
I didn't look at it. Like,
well, you guys go check out the like to dislike radio. Give it a like if you like it.
Yeah.
Don't do anything if you don't like it.
No.
Yeah, don't.
Just don't even feed the dislike culture.
Yeah. Like,
Okay. It's a 2000. Yeah, it's a 2013 fever dream. There we go.
Oh, okay.
I knew I was off.
2010. Yeah, very different time.
Their photo choice was just so
random.
Yeah, like they just Googled romantic photos, or I don't even know what they had to have Googled that.
Yeah,
who are new people?
There was like a woman standing in the grocery in like the produce section, like looking at her wallet, and like they're like, what?
Stock image of Cool Whip and eggnog.
Yeah.
and vodka. Don't think I didn't notice the whipped cream vodka.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is that there? Like I don't. It's just so funny. It was so funny.
Thank you for sharing it with us, Ollie.
Yes, of course.
A beautiful trip back into time.
Share it with all of you in our show notes.
Yeah.
That was 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2013 was 8 years ago.
Yeah, that's time.
It was.
Happens. It moves on.
Oh, hush
Time
you.
moves forward.
Don't sass me.
All right, so here's the rundown of Same Old Lange. So Eric is this like rock star musician known as the Phantom. The story doesn't explicitly say what kind of musical genre Eric falls into, but just that he's very well known and he travels the world to perform, has many fans, and he's also shrouded in anonymity because he wears a mask for his persona. But when he's out in his everyday, not as a phantom, he wears like a flesh-colored mask to, blend in a little bit more with society. And so the story begins with Eric pulling into the grocery store parking lot. It's Christmas Eve, it's late, it's snowing, and I believe this is all set in the small town that he grew up in.
It sounds like it.
It sounds like it because I don't think...
it sounded like him and Christine knew each other for a while, at least college.
Yeah. So because a lot of stores and restaurants are closed for the holiday, Eric goes into the grocery store to shop for a few things to make dinner. And the store is packed with people doing last minute shopping for Christmas. And Eric is a little anxious or annoyed having to go in with a crowd of people he knows that, may point and stare at his face. So Eric goes in the store, he's shopping around, he's in the bread aisle when he hears a voice that he immediately recognizes. And so he abandons his baguette and follows the voice to a woman he knows very well, Christine. And Christine is super surprised to see her famous ex-lover, Eric, behind her in the frozen vegetable aisle. Both are a little bit awkward after so many years of not seeing each other. Christine is now married to Raoul, a guy Eric remembered to be like this like lovesick puppy that had a crush on Christine when Eric and her had been dating. And Raoul brings this up, and Christine is kind of put off by that, and Eric apologizes for being rude. And then Christine admits that she had been doing, some last minute shopping because she was hosting her in-laws for Christmas. And she makes a remark that if her husband had really loved her, he wouldn't have invited his family over, who apparently don't appreciate her or like don't hold her in the most, highest regards. Which I feel like there's like a red flag there when she says that. And Eric kind of picks up on that. And after briefly catching up, Eric invites Christine to have a drink. And Christine's kind of like, really? You want to have a drink with me? Like, she thinks he's suggesting something, but she agrees and agrees to go on to have a drink with him. So Christine and Eric are in line at the, the register to go to leave the grocery store. Eric brings up her career, and now she's just working for her husband, does some social media and PR stuff for his company. I think it's like real estate. And Eric kind of makes a bit of an insensitive move and says she could be a great singer if she wanted it with, her degree and her passion with music. And it was kind of here where I'm like, I can see why the two broke up. Eric often kind of just makes these like insensitive comments that embarrass Christine or make her feel ashamed that like she had settled with Raoul. And so they leave the grocery store, and Eric drives around with Christine, and they see that every restaurant is closed, which Eric already knew because that's why he'd gone into this grocery store to get some food. But eventually they find like a liquor store, and he goes in, picks up a 6-pack, and the two drive back to the grocery store parking lot where Christine's car is parked, and they just kind of sit in the car and catch up. And then it's here that I think I start to like Eric a bit more after his slightly like belittling comment to Christine. He opens up more about himself and admits that he feels kind of lonely with no family, and that was why he had planned to be alone for the holiday, because 1, he has no family, and 2, he doesn't really like believe in Christmas, or he just doesn't like Christmas. And he also mentions that nobody could really love him or truly know and understand him because of his face. But Christine, the angel that she is, tells him that Nadir, his manager, loves him and is his friend, and that would stand by him no matter what. And that so would she. And then so things proceed on, and Eric, who clearly still has some sort of feeling for her, asks if she loves her husband. And she can't really give him a straight answer of like yes or no, but says that she is happy with Raoul most of the time. And then her husband, Raoul, calls and interrupts the moment that they were having. And essentially she now has to go back home and kind of resume her life again. And then she kind of says goodbye, and gives him her number and says that he should call her, or they should stay in touch. Thanks him, kisses his cheek, and leaves. And then that's it. The story ends.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it ended kind of abruptly, but again, I kind of liked how it ended with with them not confessing their feelings for each other or anything like that. Like they both have their lives, and it's a not so happily ever after, but that's okay.
My thoughts are, if someone's your ex, there's a reason they're your ex, and you shouldn't get back together with them. There's a reason you broke up in the first place.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
Yeah.
But you can tell they still have feelings for each other.
Yeah, you can tell they still have feelings for each other, but you can also see why they broke up.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely a kind of, the relationship where it's like, you're better friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I have to ask, so who's driving Eric home?
He has a Lexus that he's renting.
He had 3 beers.
Yeah, but
they both had. They both had drinks, which is also maybe
no.
Never drink and drive, folks.
Yeah, no, everyone holds their alcohol differently. Like, so maybe 3 drinks is just fine for him.
Maybe he had like the little baby half-size Pepsis of beer.
Well, and also it was
okay, that's fine.
Beer, like that's not very alcoholic.
I don't know. I mean, they both know, like they're in their cars. They're in a parking lot, and they eventually have to go home.
And neither of them seemed drunk.
No. I got it. Yeah, I just still.
Can I pivot a little bit, or a lot of it, into this story? So this story, like, it was all like pretty like relatively wholesome, it was just like 2 old lovers like catching up and seeing how they were doing, and then super abruptly and randomly, and it's never mentioned again, they just drop the fact that Eric killed one of his foster fathers.
Yeah, they just kind of dropped that.
They talked about his childhood, and
I missed that.
He was assaulted, and
what the?
Okay, so
what?
It was just like one paragraph, and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna read it, and trigger warning for sexual abuse
and murder
and murder.
A lot of different things.
Yeah. Okay. Eric just sighed and looked straight ahead. It's more or less an accurate description. And it was true. Christine was one of the few people who had heard most of his life story. His neglectful mother, who couldn't stand to care for the monster she had birthed. The rotating foster families and group homes, where even a monthly government check wasn't enough to justify keeping an abomination around. The physical and mental abuse. His time in juvenile detention for killing his foster father. It had been self-defense when the man had tried to molest him. The records long since sealed and expunged, but a loving family was something Eric was not familiar with. And that's it.
Which is very heavy.
Yeah.
It's like
and then
2 or 3 lines.
And I'm like, I was like, did they just casually say that he killed his foster father? Oh my god, it would have been self-defense. Yeah, so...
Hey kids, let's talk about murder!
And then not...
Don't do it.
Yeah, let's talk about murder and then not talk about it anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it was weird how casually they mentioned that. I almost forgot that it happened.
Yeah.
Because they mentioned it so casually. And I read it and I was like, whoa.
Yeah. So
are we going to talk about how this affects his life now, or is this just a little...
Yeah,
I had completely wiped that from my brain.
So let's redact what we said last week in saying that Eric has not killed anybody in any of the stories.
Oh, you're right.
Killed someone in this story. Which is funny, because this is not the story that I would have expected him to kill someone.
No. I know.
It was self-defense.
Yeah, it wasn't malicious. On his part.
Very abrupt.
Was it? Do we know for sure? Are you certain?
That's what
what's this author's name? Nibbles?
Nibbles.
That's what nibblesfan said. Aren't we gonna believe nibblesfan? They wrote the fic.
Yeah. Oh, I was just saying it to be obnoxious.
Obnoxious, Tstan? Never.
I know.
That never happens.
Hey.
That is something that I did like about this story, is that they really kind of fleshed out their characters a little bit, at least with Eric. why he is the way he is, and he has, you know, a traumatic past that he's somewhat moved on from. But he's just kind of a sad and lonely character who has a lot of fame, and I think you could say that about a lot of celebrities who are super big, but, you know, are they truly happy with all the money that they have and all the fame that they have?
I don't know, because I don't know any celebrities.
You know, I don't know either.
They could be living large and in charge and loving it. Or they could be hating themselves. I don't know.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's different for everyone.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Oh, and I feel like Christine was relatively fleshed out. Like we got, like, glimpses into her life, and she's not entirely happy with Raoul, and she's jealous that Meg and Eric both have successful music careers, and Christine doesn't.
Left behind, left in the dust.
I wonder if her desire to not be alone just overshadowed her desire to make something of herself.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really sad that she settled. It sounds like she really just settled for Raoul.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that do that. They don't want to be alone, so they'll settle for whatever sounds right that comes their way. But that was just really sad to read. Like, oh, Christine, no. And the in-laws are crazy. Get out of there.
Yeah. But again, I don't think she's super, like, unhappy. I think she's content.
I didn't read that she was content. It sounded like she was frustrated with her husband, like really frustrated with him.
Yeah, I don't think that she was completely unhappy. I just think that she wasn't living the life that she wanted.
Right.
Well, yeah, but
there's a lot of people too. It's, you know.
Yeah, she was content enough in the life that she had, but it wasn't what she wanted.
But she couldn't even answer that she loved her husband.
Yeah,
that's right.
Which is a red flag.
Yeah,
for a relationship, if you can't admit that you
she couldn't. Yeah,
unless it's like an arranged marriage of financial and convenience and, like, influence. Then I get not necessarily loving your partner.
I mean, that sounds like exactly what that was, though.
Do you think that's what it was for her? She was just like, I need somebody. This guy's got a lot of money.
Yeah.
He's not going to treat me like trash. I might as well settle with this.
That's the vibe I got, but...
I mean, yeah, that's the vibe I kind of got, too, that she was really just settling and she wasn't really happy with.
Well,
which sucks because, you know, he's not always the most well-written, but, you know, Raoul's not the worst.
I have no idea.
And it sounded like he was, like, really in love with her, and I think it was probably nice for her to feel like she was prioritized when maybe with her relationship with Eric, he had prioritized his career over her.
I think she should have gone it alone.
Yeah, sometimes it's better to just be single than to settle for someone that you're not happy with.
And to marry them.
Yeah.
Whoa.
She seemed very opposed to children. Did you catch that?
I don't remember that. Where was that?
I think he asked her about, like, any children, or mentioned kids, and she's like, oh, no. I don't remember where that was.
One of the reasons Eric was saying that they broke up was because he wanted kids, or she wanted kids, and he didn't.
Oh.
And then he asked her about kids with Raoul, and she was like, oh, God, no. And he's like, what?
It's like, what?
Maybe because of the in-laws. I know it can get, like, really frustrating if you're dating someone and their parents are like, so when are you going to have kids? When are you going to have kids? It's like, what? What?
Yeah, it doesn't really give a clear, like, how old they're supposed to be. Like, are they in their 30s? I felt like they were in their 30s, like.
Yeah, I think because they finished college.
Late 20s.
He had enough time to, like, really. It sounded like he had 8 albums out or something.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy like that.
So, I mean, he must be at least late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah, well, Eric is always older than Christine.
Right.
Well, because I know
he's like 40 in this
he
show.
Was older in this one. Do you think he was like 30 and dating a college girl?
No. I mean, it said that they were in college together, but it sounded like he was like a senior.
An upperclassman of some sort.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. 4 years isn't that much.
Yeah.
It's so much.
It's not.
It's really not.
No, that's not a big deal.
It'd definitely be worse.
Yes, infinitely worse.
So yeah, how do you guys feel about the writing?
It was solidly okay.
It was a solid okay. Actually, there was like a lot of like the writing style was pretty decent. Like there was a lot of description and pretty nice scene transitions, but it wasn't anything, over the top. It was a solid okay.
Yeah, it was solidly okay.
Mm-hmm.
It was better than the quality we usually get from you, Ollie. So like,
oh, shots fired!
The shade.
You too.
Well, to be fair, I was on a very different what do you call it? Fan fiction network. What was I on?
You were on Wattpad. You don't even remember where you went.
I couldn't even remember.
It was like a drunk fanfic.
Really weird orange website.
The Orange Place.
The Orange Place.
Yeah.
So the writing is definitely better than what we've seen.
Yeah.
I had something else I was going to say about the writing. Oh, it's really short.
It's very short.
It is short.
It is 6,000 words, and it's a single chapter. It's a one shot.
Yeah.
So
I like my one shots to be a little bit longer than that, but I guess, yeah, I don't know. I kind of wish it was a little bit longer, but I don't know what needed to be in it to make it longer.
I thought it was actually the perfect length because you didn't need a lot of backstory for this. It's just two lovers reuniting and then saying goodbye. Like, it was a very just sweet and simple. That's
I don't know if maybe there was like a flashback to their fight or like the thing that ended it all added in there or something. Like maybe some sort of more fleshed out flashbacks along with just like the conversational sharing past stories with each other just through dialogue really quickly.
But I think like what can make a good story is not needing the backstory and having it be explained through dialogue.
Yeah, I mean, it could, and it does do that. I don't know. I think it would have helped me like invest in where the characters were versus where they are now coming back to each other.
Yeah.
I guess like knowing on the terms that they parted in, it would make that meeting in the grocery store like more significant. Like, did they part on very turbulent terms and they haven't talked to each other since? And so this first interaction is the first time they're interacting after like a crazy intense yelling match breakup, or did they part on good terms and this is just kind of like nerves because we haven't talked to each other for a long time, but there isn't necessarily bad blood between us. I think it would have like helped helped create tension in their meeting, like the how am I going to be received by this person?
I wonder if they had like Christine's point of view, if they like bounced from Eric to Christine, like she would have been able to provide more of a background of hashed out.
I think it just being from Eric's perspective is fine. I just kind of wish that there was something more to guide me on the significance of them meeting up in a store. Because if I like saw any of my exes in a grocery store, I'd just be like, hey, cool, yeah, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Bye. Like there wouldn't be like any apprehension. And I don't know if with her, like, or maybe it's one-sided apprehension where she's like really freaked out about it and kind of being weird and he's being normal, but they both seem to act really normal around each other.
Yeah.
And I mean, she like threw her arms around him.
Yeah, she was like happy to see him.
Yeah, very excited.
But yeah, I would just be curious to see that included, like what their last encounter actually looked like compared to their first encounter after so many years and her getting married. Like,
yeah.
I don't...
Yeah.
And what would that be, like, another maybe 800 words?
Yeah.
For this story? I don't think it would be much, but...
Maybe if it was, instead of 6,000 words, it could have shot for more, like...
7
8
to 10, maybe?
to 10. Yeah. Just to give it a little more background.
I mean, that's about how long I like my one-shots to be, is, like, 7 to 10.
Yeah.
I've read one-shots that are 30K.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that's a one-shot.
I mean, it's a one-shot if it's only all one chapter. One go. If it's just one chapter and not broken out, that's technically a one-shot.
So my metric for how long a one-shot needs to be is very skewed.
Well, like on the lower end of a one-shot. Because if it was just one scene, I could understand like 3,000 to 6,000, but when you go, because they were in the grocery store, then they were in the car, then they went to the liquor store, and then back in the car, and then final confrontation. That's like 4 to 5 scenes. So yeah, I'd expect like maybe 1,500 a scene.
But yeah, I think the author could have maybe, set the scene a little more of like, where were they? Was this like, I think a small town type of situation? Yeah. It sounded like they're in like a large grocery store. But I don't know where they were.
I thought of it as like a small red apple or something.
Oh, red apple.
Have you been in a red apple? Like it's a little more of a neighborhood grocery store.
No, I have not.
You haven't been in a red apple, Tstan?
The only neighborly small grocery stores we have always
like
have rotten meat in.
Yeah.
Okay, not a Trader Joe's. I'm thinking like grocery outlets.
Oh no, I didn't think of that. Like Red Apple is kind of like Trader Joe's, but on the not low end, but like on the lower
QFC-ish.
Yeah, it's like a small QFC.
But yeah, I was thinking I was just thinking like the local Safeway. I wasn't even thinking like small town.
Yeah, I didn't think of the context of the size of the town. It was just the size of the grocery store. But I think, like, if it was a little longer, like, that stuff could be fleshed out more. And I think the story's fine as it is. I think it does a good job of taking you along and answering most of your questions, like, probably 95% of them. But I think it could have, like, taken it to another level with those other elements added in. Not that it's bad as it is, because it's definitely not bad.
No.
No. Yeah.
It's good.
It's good.
Honestly, the quality is... I'm staggered because of what we usually get.
We have some good quality writing in the Phantom of the Opera fandom. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it was the one thing I noticed when I was looking through stories. I'm like, these are all fairly decent. Like, nothing was like, oh, my brain. Like, how did I just look at that?
I'm not listing the 7 forms of lightsaber fighting.
We will not talk about that ever again. Thank you.
Never gonna let you live that one down.
Never.
It had pictures.
But Naruto.
It had pictures.
What, you never read a picture book before?
Not when it's supposed to just be a straight story.
I just remember that part where they're describing
Naruto and Star Wars.
Naruto's utility belt. He's like, he had a utility belt full of things for survival.
Full of things.
Oh, goodness.
But yeah, no, I think the quality of this one was really good.
Yeah.
I think there could have been 2 chapters here.
But for one shot,
I think
it worked well.
Yeah, for a one shot where it's just based on a song, a depressing, sad song.
That was a nice song. I like the song. I like folk music though, so.
Yeah, I remember road trips with you.
I'm into all the music.
It was just fine at the length that it was. I didn't think it needed more. It would have been too drawn out if it had more, I think.
Fair.
And how well did they stick to the fandom?
They didn't.
Christine was spelled with a CH.
I mean, I guess Christine and Rao got married, so that was gonna happen.
And they're not happy, which is what happens in Love Never Dies. So
yeah,
you know.
But we don't talk about Love Never Dies.
This conversation.
I know. I keep saying we can't talk about it, and then I bring it up. But yeah. So I mean, Eric sings. Christine and Raoul are married.
There's
he's known as the Phantom.
I mean,
that's true. He wears a mask.
They spend a good portion of this fic in a grocery store and then drinking beer in a Lexus. I don't think that's a very canon.
Hashtag classy.
You mean that doesn't happen in the stage show?
You don't remember that
happens
part?
Backstage.
They bring out like a cardboard cutout of a car, and they're just like randomly. There's an aside, like everything else is the same, but there's an extra scene where they're just drinking in a car.
Deleted scenes.
No. See, that's the what happens backstage afterwards.
Yeah.
Curtain goes down. They're like, okay.
Get the Lexus out. Let's wheel it out. Yeah, it didn't really. I think all of our picks were AUs.
Yeah.
That we did. Like, none of us cared about the Phantom of the Opera true setting.
Look, Phantom of the Opera is good. But it's poorly written.
Damn.
And it needed to be fixed.
Yeah.
It's two men torturing a woman for, what, 2.5 hours?
Torturing a child.
Yeah.
She's not even a woman. Like, she's a woman, but she's a very young woman.
It'd be more problematic if they tried to stick to, like, the OG Phantom of the Opera.
Yeah, I guess in our modern day it would be.
I guess
anyone.
But I feel like we probably should have chosen one fic that did stick through
Yeah.
it, but...
Nah, I'm not going to put myself through that. Nah.
Well...
No, I think we had, like, a good distribution of stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
AUs are acceptable in this universe.
Yeah. Do you want to read the comments?
Yeah, we should read some comments.
I think one of the top comments, or maybe not top comments, but one was by guest. Oh, what did they say? Skurdandy?
What?
I don't know what that. So one of the comments by guest says, truly a good fanfic. I'm not gonna lie, my heart hurts like a ditch, but welp, I should have seen it coming. I like the setting. Usually I'm not so fond of modern AU because there are a lot of
Phantom of the Opera.
Yes, I knew that.
It says, for listeners, it says Poto, which is Phantom of the Opera.
My brain saw potato.
There's a lot of potato elements that can't fit.
Yeah.
A lot of potato elements that cannot fit. However, you managed it well. It's amusing to see how you actually build the backstory of a lifetime in a relatively short media without showing any scenes. Only using the old friends relating memory tool. Clever. In consequence, your writing feels natural, spontaneous. Moreover, you also found a way to mix angst and humor. The best cocktail there is. This is great. You probably already know this, but it's what makes the story interesting. The reader can experience many emotions. So when the reading is over, the feelings linger a while, and you can reflect back on a story months later, years even. Oh my God. I remember the first fanfic I read and what it felt like. So to quote that Frankenstein classic movie, it's alive, it's alive.
You're not going to finish it?
I guess I can finish it. Anyway, congratulations. It's a win-win. I'll keep an eye on you. I'll keep an eye on you now. And thanks for the song suggestion. Aha.
Aha.
And
You
then
like
This person writes like they leave unwanted constructive criticism on DeviantArt pictures.
I'm sure that's exactly what Skurdandy does.
just the way they wrote each sentence, I was like, ooh.
I just love that they did a space and then an exclamation point multiple times.
Yes.
Oh yeah, look at that.
And they
All
went
their
on,
periods are right at the end of their sentences, but all their exclamation points are space exclamation
and
points.
they went on several tangents, even though it was only 2 paragraphs, and it's like, whoa.
So, okay.
Yeah. And then
Okay,
Charlie Bone fan said, well, that was depressing, ... but good.
Short and sweet.
That was on Christmas.
They said that on Christmas Day.
oh my God. I think they posted it on Christmas Eve, wasn't it? The story.
Yeah, the
so,
story
yeah.
was Christmas Eve. So, but yeah, and then another silent observer said, "Bittersweet. I like the fact that it is not a happy ending for these two, which is what you like, Asuka,
Yeah.
Ollie."
Yeah. So, do we want to rate it?
Of course we do.
Give it to Mask.
I will give it a single mask. No,
No.
I'm kidding.
A single.
Brutal.
I think I'd give this story 3 masks. I think it was good. I think it was all around good, but it wasn't amazing. And it I wish it was longer. Yeah.
I would have given it a 3.5. Mainly because this is kind of one of my first stories that the writing wasn't, I didn't have to really nitpick it. And it was nice because it was in Eric's point of view and it didn't jump through multiple characters. It was a bittersweet story, and it was, I think it's more memorable because it didn't have such a happy ending. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think 3.5 does its justice.
Well, now I feel like a follower because I'm also doing a 3.5.
Yeah.
I know that this is not a high enough rating to justify this, but thank the gods that Ollie finally picked something that was actually good to read.
Yeah.
The other picks were, I don't want to say torture because that's mean, but they were hard. They were difficult to get through. This was nice. I'm not a bittersweet ending kind of person. I need my sugar. I need it shoveled into my mouth. Just like happy ending juice. Just bleh.
Yeah.
So 3.5, but my God, I got through it. It was fine. I read it. It was good.
Thank you. No, that
Kudos.
means a lot.
Kudos,
that I
Ollie.
picked an okay story.
No, you
Keep
picked a
doing
good
that.
story.
Stop
He's
doing
good.
the other ones.
I also give this a 3.5 because it was pretty good.
It was pretty good.
Like, yep, great.
I feel so bad that it's such an achievement for us.
Ollie got 3s across the board.
Wow!
I'm sorry.
Winner.
I'm sorry, Poppy. Did you have more to add to that? I'm sorry.
Nope, that was it.
All right, so guys, I guess we should pick what's.
Wait, no, who
yeah.
won? Who
Well,
won?
that's what I was gonna say. We should pick what story we like the best.
I thought you were gonna say we should pick the next one.
Well, we should do that too, but this first.
I pick SG as the winner.
Aw, Poppy.
I picked Tristan's.
Aw, thank you. I'm actually, despite the 5 I gave to SG's story, I'm gonna pick Ollie's because it was legible.
I'm gonna be self-centered and pick mine because I really did like mine.
You're gonna pick yours?
Okay,
I'm gonna pick
yeah.
mine.
Whoop! All right, SG's the winner again.
Nothing wrong with that. Nope, you got it.
For the
There's
third.
nothing wrong with that. And I'm gonna pull up a random number generator.
Yes, pull up the random number generator. We have a list of 30 different fandoms that exist in the world. There are many more, but we only have 30. And we use a random number generator because we're all doing this remotely because there is a pandemic going on.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yes, we're ready.
Okay.
Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
Does someone have the list up?
I have the list up.
I do. Yeah, we all have the list.
I don't.
20.
What's
Percy
20?
Jackson.
Percy
Oh.
Jackson.
Percy Jackson and the Olympians?
Yep.
Thank you for listening to the Fanfiction Book Club. Our pick this week was Same Old Lange, Syne by nibblesfan. You can find this story and more of the author's work on fanfiction.net. Theme song is Funkorama by Kevin MacLeod. You can find more of Kevin's music on incompetech.filmmusic.io/artist/Kevin MacLeod. The works discussed on the Fan Fiction Book Club are not our own. All characters mentioned belong to the original authors. Until next week.